Is Carlee Russell another Jussie Smollett? And exploring human trafficking in America. And this video will explore this question with the goal to educate and enlighten, and it's being brought to you by 2L for Life with Armel 771 and CZ Mommy. Welcome. On this channel, we explore different ideas and perspectives and discuss them live on Saturdays at 8 p.m. So please come join us. And if you like what you see and hear, please like, share, and subscribe. And of course, feel free to comment below and make sure to click that notification bell so you know when new videos are posted. So let's get into it. Now, before we get into looking into Carlee Russell and the ongoing breakdown and incident of what's going on, I wanted to provide a baseline. Now, human trafficking and kidnapping, they're related, but they're two different concepts, two different distinct concepts. Human trafficking can involve kidnapping, but also encompasses a broader range of actions and situations. While kidnapping is the act of unlawfully taking someone against their will, often with the intention of holding them captive or extracting a ransom. It is an illegal act and a crime in most jurisdictions, and kidnapping victims can be taken for various reasons, including for personal motives or as part of criminal activities. On the other hand, human trafficking involves the recruitment, transportation, harboring, or receipt of people through force, fraud, or coercion for the purpose of exploitation. While kidnapping can be one method of initial recruitment into trafficking, victims can also be lured or deceived through false promises of a better life or job opportunities. Once under the trafficker's control, victims are subject to forced labor, sexual exploitation, or other forms of exploitation. Human trafficking differs from kidnapping in several ways, right? Purpose is kidnapping is usually a one-time act to hold someone against their will, while human trafficking involves ongoing exploitation for financial gain. There's also consent. In kidnapping, there's no consent from the victim, and in trafficking, initial consent might be present, but it is later manipulated or revoked due to force, fraud, or coercion. Now, in case of duration, kidnapping typically involves a short-term period of captivity, often resulting in death, by the way, whereas human trafficking involves long-term control over the victim. And then there's a situation about profit. Human trafficking is often driven by financial motives, where traffickers exploit victims to generate profit. Kidnapping may not actually have a financial motive. And then there's a matter of scale. Kidnapping is often a standalone crime involving one or a few victims, whereas human trafficking can involve a network of traffickers and numerous victims. Now, in some cases, human trafficking begins with a kidnapping, especially in instances of child abduction for the purpose of forced labor or sexual exploitation. However, human trafficking can also occur without an initial kidnapping if victims are recruited through deception or other means of coercion. And folks, this is interesting because there was a recent case of a Nigerian politician who was convicted in England for coercing a young man to come there to provide his kidney, and he told him a lot of deceptive information. Anyway, they were convicted to life prison, him and his wife and the doctor who facilitated this. And that's kind of interesting, so we can talk more about that on Saturday as well. Now we come to Carlee. With Carlee gone missing, both of these possibilities were considered, right? Both separately and together. Many thought, was she kidnapped for her body parts? Was she kidnapped to be trafficked? Or was it just some crazy serial killer, right? And the national attention this has brought has been just phenomenal, considering the nature of the fact that she's claiming to see a 3-4-year-old walking along the side of the road. So there's a lot of fear of, is this a new tactic being used? And any woman would stop, right? So that was kind of scary. As well as the fact that, interestingly, usually a missing black woman getting this type of media attention, which is not common, was also an interesting mix in the whole story. Now, here are some facts. More than 546,000 people were missing in 2022, including more than 271,000 women. And nearly 98,000 of those cases were Black women and girls. And this is based on USA Today article. And so Black children make up about 33% of all missing child cases. Mind you, there are only 11% of Black people in America, right? Or around that number, 13%. So minority children, however, are often initially classified as runaways, and therefore they don't receive an Amber Alert. And minority adults are often cast as criminals and portrayed as being associated with gangs and drugs, and that the girls probably ran off with a boyfriend, right? And so at this most fundamental level, racism exists in the media about how kidnappings are often handled. And there are still some ways in which how they perceive white femininity and white womanhood and white girlhood as being built on the idea of innocence versus how we're seeing the treatment of Black, Indigenous, and other women, that when they go missing, there's usually a true racial empathy gap. Now, as the story unfolds, it is shaping up that she lied, and it's the same way that there was concern that the Jussie Smollett story may have set back the seriousness of crime against people of the LGBTQIA community. So it is now the fear that if another woman of color cries for help, will it be taken as seriously as Carlee was? Anyway, this could break down even further. So I want you to join us as we discuss this topic live on Saturday at 8 p.m. on our channel, 12 for Life, with me, CZ Mommy, and Armel. And of course, if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you all on Saturday at 8 p.m. so we can really get into this. All right, so I'll see you soon, and take care. Bye.